circle this year.
So then,
Hold on, the last time we did a panel together, I knew you were in episode 7, and you contractually were not allowed to say anything. But I could, so I kept asking you if you were in episode 7, and you kept saying...
I think I kept saying I can't talk about it.
Right, and I kept saying, are you in it?
And I'm like, well, I really can't talk about it.
Well, now I can ask you, are you in episode 7?
I'm in episode 7, yes. Would you like to know how that happened?
Yeah, I heard it's a really good story.
It's a pretty good story. So I get this phone call from this crazy guy who does conventions. And he says there's this Disney celebration, D23, and George Lucas is going to be made a Disney legend and get his award. This was last August, last year. And would you like to be there? And I said, yeah, of course. And
I had, like with this show, I had a booth there at that show.
Yeah.
I had some extra space.
Well, tell them what you do. What you do.
What I do.
Yes, we do care what you do. I care.
I design jewelry, we have a Lucasfilm license. I have a booth that's like over there somewhere. And we do like rings. This is our newest one. I gotta show it. It's a Chewbacca bracelet. Looks like Chewbacca's bandolier. I'm not selling this though. I've only got one. This is the first one, but we'll be making this later. But anyway, that's what I do. So I was selling at the D23, and they had the Legends Award. You were saying?
Yeah. So Kevin got the people at Disney. He let them know that I wanted to be there, and they said, "Certainly, have it come." And then, because I was Salacious Crumb, I guess, said, could we get some VIP passes to be backstage, and we got those. So next thing I know, I was backstage at
we had breakfast with George Lucas.
What?
We had breakfast with George Lucas. That was pretty cool.
Breakfast back there. It was a beautiful green room. Disney, when Disney does it, they do it. I mean, it's cool. I gotta say.
They had little soda cans that said, have a soda or have a Coke with George Lucas. And there was like 15 of them.
Like Coca-Cola made, yeah.
They made it for all the actors that were there, but they made it for George Lucas, there was 15 of them. I stole them. They're in my house right now.
Is that where they all were?
No one's recording it. Oh, he is.
I want one. I want one of those.
Well, they were for the guests that were there. I was a
I
guest.
want one too.
Anyway, so Matt Wood from Sound was there, and yada yada.
Okay. So I know Matt Wood. He's the supervising sound editor now, which with Ben Bird, and still there. So we're backstage. Got to talk with George, which I was real excited. I hadn't seen him since 1984.
We met The Rock.
We met Dick Van Dyke.
We sat
Even
at the awards show.
George. I'm sorry, but I'm a Mary Poppins freak.
Well, I gotta tell like this though. We're backstage at this thing. There's George Lucas. There's Chris Evans. There's Captain America. There's the Rock. Chris Pine from the new Captain Kirk. They're all there. They're big wigs.
Al Bundy.
That's kind of cool. Al Bundy was there. It was kind of cool. And so we go to sit down in our seats, and there's 2 seats in the front. The second row, and there's a little old man in the seat, in the suit next to it. And I'm like, well, I'll just go over and see if those seats are available. So I bend down and I go, excuse me, sir, are these seats available? He turns, it's Dick Van freaking Dyke. At a Disney show, so we're sitting there for a 2-hour Disney awards panel. We're talking about Walt Disney, and I got Dick Clark telling me about Walt Disney. That was, what did I say, Dick Clark?
Because I worked for Dick Clark.
Well, I just ruined it.
That's right. No, Dick Van Dyke kept saying to him, whenever they would talk, Eisner was up there talking about it, Walt did and all that. And Dick, I'm hearing him, he kept looking over at you saying, it's all true.
That's exactly what Walt was like.
How Walt was.
So I handed my camera to him to take a picture, and he wouldn't do it.
Disney, have a magical day. It is freaking magic.
Remember how you wouldn't take my picture with Dick Van Dyke?
See, well, I'm a fan.
Huh? Remember I handed you my camera and like take a picture? You're like, no, that's not professional.
So you got some like...
I have some that down like this though, yeah.
Rocks or something. I don't know where you were taking that from, but yeah, that's some pictures of kind of weird angle, but you got it. Which will be sitting right now.
And so anyway, you got a character in episode 7.
So backstage, Matt Wood comes back. Well, first, I did get to talk to George, which meant a lot to me, because what I told him was, I said, hi, George. He says, hi. And I said, I know you don't remember me. I would not expect you to remember me, but I'm the carpenter from Skywalker Ranch that did the voice of Salacious Crumb. And he lit up. he went, "Hi, Salacious." And I said, I'm really happy for you getting this award from a Disney legend, and I've wanted to tell you that because of Salacious Crumb, I have had more than 30 years now of a great life doing voiceovers for so many things, and it's all because of Salacious. And he said to me, "Thank you so much, I really like hearing you." And that really made me feel good, because I could tell he really did like hearing that from somebody, you know. So he's done a lot for a heck of a lot of people, and to be able to go all these years later, full circle, and say thank you, and it's been a great life because of that, professionally and everything. So Matt Wood walks back, who's supervising sound editor on episode 7. Matt and I know each other, and Matt, he says, "Mark, and how you been?" And we talked for a minute, and actually George was still there, and I said, "Hey, you know, the first voiceover I ever did was Salacious Crumb." And he says, "I know." And I said, "You know, it'd really be great to be in this new Star Wars movie, because at this point it'd be like my career came full circle. You know, that part of it's come full circle." He said, "Yeah, it really would, wouldn't it?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "How are you with the union?" And I said, "I'm good, I'm working, I'm good." And he started asking, "Do you have a studio at your home?" Because he knows I live in St. Louis. And I said, "Yeah." And we talked about the possibility of doing it out of my studio, and I could direct over Sky, or going to a studio in St. Louis. And then he said, "Get in touch with me, you have my email." And I said, "Yeah, I have your email. Why don't you ever send me an email?" I said, "Because I don't want to bother you." He says, "Well, you wouldn't bother me. And send me an email, and I'll have you work on the new movie." And when we walked away, you said, "You're going to be in the new Star Wars." And I said, "Nah, that's Hollywood stuff. You hear that all the time." I said, "We'll see." I said, "But if I am, I can tell you, I won't even hear anything until about 2 months before the movie opens." Almost exactly. In fact, it was the middle of October. I get an email back from Matt, because I had seen one when I first got home. "Hi, here I am." And he says, "Hey, I need you. Can you be here next week?" And sure enough, October 23rd, I was back in LA doing 20th Century Fox, doing voices for the new Star Wars movie. And I'm pretentious that he wanted to laugh, which was really neat, because we do it scene by scene. And when we got to the Maz, well, first we did some of the Stormtrooper stuff, when the way the movie opens, if you've ever seen it. And so, we do all that, and we did it as chronological. So then we got to Maz Kanata's, and there's Kratinus and his brother Prashi, and they're playing, when they first walk in, they're playing a board game, and Kratinus wins the board game, so in that scene, but he didn't have a voice yet, and so we watched that scene, and Matt looks over, he goes, "Salacious, I need your laugh." And I was like, wow, that just felt really good, you guys.
If you guys are familiar with the scene, it is right in the beginning of when they arrive at Maz Kanata's, and it does have a little bit of a Salacious twang to it. So when I saw it,
well, he said but bigger, because the character's a little bigger, so
because when I saw it opening night, I could easily tell that was definitely it.
And so this is stuff that's special to me. So hopefully you enjoy it. I haven't even told you this. I saw Matt a couple of weeks ago in Lexington. We were both doing a Comic-Con, and we talked, and he said, "Yeah, so when he and JJ, when they were mixing, because then they go in and take all the sound that we've done, and then they go in and mix." And he says, "Yeah, we were mixing, and I haven't told you this." And he says, "We're mixing, and we're sitting there, and when your scene came up," he said, "I already had the laugh placed." He said, "But JJ's friend had written the music for the castle." He said, "And the music was playing, and right when that laugh came up, I said, JJ," Matt's telling JJ, he says, "JJ, we need to duck the music until we bring the music down." He says, "We need to duck the music there so we can hear that laugh." And he said, and JJ said, "Why?" And he said, he told him, "Well, that's the voice of Salacious Crumb. I had Mark Dodson come in and do that laugh." And he said, and JJ said, "By all means, duck the music right there. We want to hear Salacious."
Oh, that's excellent.
So yeah, so I just heard that. So it's been really a great year. It's been a full circle year, and a lot of stuff like that's been happening.
Have you met JJ?
No, but you have.
Twice.
Yeah, I could have, but
I'm sorry, I didn't take it.
yeah. Well, at Disney, didn't you go over at the bar?
Yeah, at the bar.
Yeah, there's JJ just sitting at a bar.
You could have come over.
I could. Well, I said I could have.
I have pictures, but I can't post them.
Believe it or not, I am very shy, and I won't just go up to JJ Abrams and say hi. You know, I have to already.
But you'll go up to Matt Wood and say, "Please give me a job."
But Matt, no, but I know Matt already. But when the first time I met Matt, I'm still shy. Really wasn't.
I also just want to let you know we're opening this up to a conversation because it is a Q&A. Questions from you as well. I mean, if you guys have a Star Wars question or a Salacious Grown question or a Gremlin question or the Winter Olympics last year, which you did voiceover work or anything, feel free to raise your hand. Don't be shy. What did you do for the Olympics?
Vancouver.
Oh, it was Vancouver.
Yeah.
How about,
I did a lot of you hear me do a lot of stuff.
we got Frank Rich from Star Wars Autograph News. I'm sure he has a question. I'm busting you out on it. I totally am.